All right, next one's from Greg Gandolfini, and the subject is thought I saw Billy body in New Jersey chased a stranger. Is this the guy that like banned him from New Jersey? This guy
That's
sounds a little
several people
mentally
at this
ill.
point. Yeah.
How you doing, K100? I was on the clock working the other day and looked out the window. He spelled window at WINDA because he's from New Jersey.
Nice. Yep.
Who do you think I saw? Well, I thought I saw Billy Body. I took off, leave my place of business, and chased the poor down the street. As it turns out, that wasn't really Billy Body, and I ended up buying the guy a few beers. Has that ever happened to any of yous? He spells it YOUSUs. Have you ever confused someone for another person, almost leading to a fight? Let me tell you, if that was really Billy Body, well, you don't want to know what I'd do. Ugh. Well, this. Okay, first of all, I've never wanted to fight somebody. You know, Henry Hubbard did that. Who did he thought he saw that? Me and Norman were at the airport with him one time, and he thought he saw somebody. I can't remember who he thought. I think it might have been Joey Ryan. He thought he saw Joey Ryan. He goes, that, and he got up and he was like going to go over like, that's not him. Like he was literally like getting up out of his chair to go fight a guy that he thought was like Joey Ryan or something. You can see Henry Hubbard do that too, can't you, Conan?
What a character, bro. He makes me laugh. He's too much. That
I've never seen it. It's obviously
way too much.
Look, right, we're going to suspend Greg Gandolfini for an obviously fake story too. He did not have years with the guy.
Right, exactly. Here's the thing, right, and the other one is he said that he looked out his window and he saw Billy Body. At first, I thought he meant, like when they put you on the highway to pick up trash to, make up for a traffic infraction or something. I thought he was one of those. Nothing.
Right. Next is from JJ Claxon from TikTok. He's got a pretty terrible question here. Subject is 101 basic storyline. Hey, K100, I was wondering, what are the basics on creating a weekly television storyline? How will you start the story and end it? I start the story with the first act and end it with the how will you start the story? With whatever
the thing is,
you
is
write
that,
as the
bro,
interaction,
Well, every story is different, so you're not going to start it the same.
Right.
So that's right off the bat. So you just got to think of a storyline, and usually the best way to write is think of a story, think who are the guys that are going to be in that storyline, and then you have to have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Some people have it from the minute they write it out, then what the ending is going to be. Some other guys like to work with, we'll see how this goes, and we'll adjust the ending accordingly. But that's basically the basics of it.
The ending is when you sometimes you have an ending, but the ending is obviously open ended. Let me give you a perfect example. Right? How would you start a story? Let's talk about the Bloodline story, maybe the greatest story of all time. What was the Conan? How did that story start? Do you remember then I'll say this. This was the start of the story. I get the perfect.
I know
exactly what it was. Do you remember what it was? What was it, Conan?
It was breaking up the twins, wasn't it?
No.
I thought it was when Heyman was in the. Heyman got revealed as being in Roman's locker room.
Yes, Heyman was in the room with Roman Reigns. That was the first.
With the first scene
of the storyline. Okay. Yeah, they show Heyman in there, and then the camera pins back, and Roman's in there with him. That's the first scene of the start of the Bloodline storyline, and it's like that's an iconic. If we go back, that's kind of an iconic scene in professional wrestling now. The first time Roman Reigns was revealed with Paul Heyman led to the longest, one of the most entertaining storylines in the history of professional wrestling. So that's how you
where Brock was questioning him.
Right, that's a way to start it right there. So that'd be like the first thing you see. Next one's
from Jonathan S.
No, I got. I can't get my cursor to scroll. Hang on. Here we go. Next is Jonathan S. Subject is WWE layoffs. Salutation, K100 crew. With the recent round of cuts done at WWE of in-ring talent, it's got me to think of how criminally underutilized and underrated Dolph Ziggler is. I'm shocked he wasn't offered a job to train youngsters down in Florida. My question for the entire crew is this. What are your thoughts on these Neanderthals who go on Twitter openly jubilant over wrestlers being laid off? To me, it shows a total lack of class, intelligence, and foolishness to have these inclinations. What do you gentlemen think? That's what Jonathan asks. But of course, wrestling draws these type of people. There's a lot of the wrestling trolls they're brutal. But with Dolph Ziggler, I mean, I would say the guy's made a pretty penny in life. Like, I don't think he's like, this financially is like he's set for life. I know, like he used to, like he's got enough money where even when he was wrestling, he would come travel to Vegas to go see Guns N' Roses at that T-Mobile and come to the club tonight and fly out the next day and go back touring on TV. So he's got, he's very comfortable in life. So I would say I don't think that Dolph would even be probably interested in training going for that job, because that's a huge pay cut. He's probably made enough to where he doesn't have to go do that. So what do you think, Conan?
Yeah, bro, he was there for a long time and made some good money. He's always been kind of like a bachelor, right? Just living that type of bachelor life. And I don't know if he ain't made any money off of stand-up comedy or not, but I can definitely believe that when he leaves wrestling, he'll be attached to a couple projects because he's good looking, he can talk, he's likable.
He's acted a
I'm
little.
sure he'll be okay. Good. He'll do okay. When you look like Dolph Ziggler, you're gonna do okay. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Disco,
and
since you mentioned,
the other thing, I'm sorry, Joe. The other thing is that these people that go online, they're happy that people got fired. It's funny because I bet you anything that 90% of those people that are laughing at other people, if they got fired and people were dragging their name on the internet, they'd probably melt. But what can you say about a person who's got nothing better to do than to go publicly and trash something and affix their name to it? That tells you all you need to know about that person.
And since that email referenced WWE releases and fans being happy, it made me think of this because someone said this to me. Apparently, Ryback wasn't very pleased with a recent YouTube clip of ours. D.I., had you seen this?
No.
So in the clip, we speculated on Ryback and AEW, and I think I said something like, now that Punk's gone, maybe they'll bring him in. But then again, if they wanted him, they've been around 2-3 years before Punk showed up. Why wouldn't they have brought him in then? And you said, I don't think Tony Khan likes Ryback. So Ryback heard that, and he responded, "It's very possible Tony Khan doesn't like me, Disco, but it's also possible he does. Truth is, he doesn't know me, and we have never met. I'm not cleared and haven't been in years for my shoulder. The sidekick Joe of the show knows better, though. And Joe, I haven't been fit to return to the ring for years. When I am and I'm cleared, we'll see what happens. I will publicly state I don't need to wrestle on any TV promotion to make more money than I ever have and be happy." And then he promotes his action figure. But he seemed a little that I inferred AEW didn't want him, But I was mistaken too. I didn't realize.
I don't know if like I said, AEW could want him. I'm not saying they should.
Yeah, but not only it's just an opinion. He's saying I think they probably wouldn't want him. I'm not sure what that's based on.
No, because here's why.
Oh, because Punk was there.
AEW fan base. No, and the AEW fan base are all these trolls that kind of go after Ryback. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and Tony's kind of in with this fan base and stuff. That's why I think that Tony wouldn't.
So bring him in as a heel, bro. If they don't like him, and he's. They don't like him, and he's. Of course, but here's the thing: if they don't like him and they're gonna boo him, case closed. They made it easy for you,
I thought back in the day when they started the Inner Circle that Ryback would have been great in that Jack Swagger spot, with Jericho and Guevara and LAX, but wasn't to be.
To say this,
but no, I wasn't aware that his shoulder is what keeps him out of the ring completely. So that is my mistake on that.
But a healthy.
I would like.
Any organization.
I know you would.
Right. I would like that if you ever met Ryback, he'd speared you through a window with the bad shoulder. Nothing.